So 9 years ago, I was living in London and decided I've always enjoyed travel and enjoyed adventures, and I wanted to go on an adventure, but an adventure that gave back to other people as well. I did not just want to travel and do that without contributing in some way, and I decided to cycle from London to Athens with a friend of mine. So I decided to, while I was researching this, I discovered that 25,000 children die every day from things that money can solve. And the first year I had a goal of raising £25,000, and roughly every day as I would go cycling to Athens, I was going to be doing 25,000 leg spins per day. So I thought, well, maybe you should call it 25,000 spins. And the name for me stuck, so I thought, yeah, I'll stick with that. Managed to convince, there was 20 other people that I knew as well as people I didn't know, convinced to join me on an adventure from London to Paris to coincide with the end of the Tour de France, and I figured that was probably about as far as I could get a group of novices like myself. I'd actually never cycled anywhere further than just one day in one direction. I'd never done multiple days like the cyclists have just done here in the US. And really since then the trips have just expanded in terms of different charities, working with different charities from ADRA to UNICEF to Fred Hollow's Foundation to a range of them, all having the umbrella of poverty and solving poverty. And so for me the connection of the adventure, giving back and giving people a real challenge and a sense of achievement have really been the core parts of why, the adventure for myself that began 9 years ago and still continues to this day. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start a trip on the Big Sur coast. I've always wanted to see more of the US, and the Big Sur coast kind of ranked up there with great roads in the world to explore and see, and definitely didn't disappoint. The scenery definitely didn't disappoint. It was very similar in many ways to the Great Ocean Road event, and it was just an American version of that. In some ways it was more stunning. We followed the coastline really the entire way, so you nearly all the time had some sort of coastal outlook, which was fantastic. The heat on day 2 was unusual and not common for this time of year, and that was challenging. If that wasn't there, in terms of the distances and the hills and those sort of things, it's probably very similar, I would say, on the whole to most of the other events there. We've got the challenging elements to extend the better riders through to the newer riders. It really does offer something for everyone.
found out about the bike ride, the 25,000 spins, through ADRA International. I work there, and they sent out a few emails inviting people to please volunteer. And after some thought, I decided to go ahead and try it. I would say the most memorable part of this ride has been the people I've met and the relationships we've been able to forge through the suffering and the triumph of everything, and just the laughter and the fun we've had. It's been definitely the people. I think this bike ride had many components that were challenging. It would be the difficulty of the hills, the drops, the heat that we were feeling. I mean, the first day I rode the whole thing, and the only way I was able to do that was with the people rallying around each other, because everybody, I think, was feeling a lot of the same thing. Second day, I didn't do the entire thing, but what I was able to do was really through prayer. I kept saying, God, please help me. And I made it through. So in the future, again, I would emphasize a lot of training before going on the bike ride.
So yeah, if anyone's ever interested in becoming a participant, a cyclist, and joining an adventure with heart, then if they simply go to 25000spins.com, they can register for a cycle event and select one of the charities, ranging from ADRA to Tier Fund. There's quite a number of charities that can be selected.